I hope you guys can hear me well. Um, yeah. So, welcome you all to today's World Product Day event, and it's amazing to have you here. We have had some amazing interactions before. So I'm Satyavati Khade. I'm a host for today's event, and I have been an organizer for Product Tank Pune for nearly 2 years now. And I work as product manager for Springer Nature, and the product that I work on is a life science digital product. So a little bit about Product Tank Pune. So Product Tank Pune began in February 2019. It was to bring all the product people together to share the knowledge, to share experiences from products and processes that are in various industry sectors, and connect as product people and grow together to honing this craft of product management and build better products. So from the beginning, we have seen a remarkable growth. And so far, we have had more than 20 meetups. And the Product Tank Pune itself, we have more than 2,400 members who are a group of product professionals, aspiring product managers, early stage product managers, user experience designers, product directors, data scientists, developers. Say all the roles that are involved in developing a product and managing a product. The community has also helped more than 60 members to transition to a product role, be it a product manager, be it a product owner, or someone who is at very, very early stages of product management. And every month we share product related jobs on the Pune WhatsApp group and the Pune Slack group on Mind the Product. And all of this, all of the work that you see cannot be possible without a very diligent group of volunteers and organizers who bring this all together, who work day in and day out so that they can have a good roadmap and strategy, and we come together, we help each other, and we share knowledge about product and form a community. Also, stay tuned for the end of this event. We have an exciting announcement about an initiative Product Tank Pune is taking up with Forbes magazine. So you might be wanting to hear what the announcement is. So speaking about communities, speaking about today's we are all meeting virtually. This is not possible without a key collaboration. So collaboration is a very key aspect of us being together here. And in today's time, it's needless to say, collaboration plays a key role. Not only is the collaboration, which is just within a geographical area or within a city, now we are extending beyond the borders of a city. So I think most of you know about the concept of sister cities, wherein two cities are located in different geographical regions, but share a commonality of a culture or a commercial tie. For example, Pune is a sister city to Austin, located in United States. Similarly, we wanted as a product community to bring and join hands with Heidelberg, which is situated in Germany, and Pune is located in India. And we start the collaboration, we start the event, and so that the initiatives that we take for product management happens together. And this happens to be a very special event for Product Tank Heidelberg because this is their very first event. It is a launch event. And for this, we have Daniel Dahlmeier, who is our opening speaker, who is a senior director and chief data scientist at SAP Germany. And he'll speak a few words and launch the Product Tank Heidelberg. So before I hand over to you, Daniel, just a few housekeeping points. Please, if you have any questions or appreciation for the new chapter, please put them in the chat box. And we appreciate if you are on mute for the entire of the session. So over to you, Daniel.
I'll guess I'm exempted from the mute rule, right?
Yeah, you are.
Satya, thanks for having me. Thanks everyone for being here. And also a warm welcome from me here from beautiful but slightly rainy Heidelberg here in Germany. I feel super honored and happy to be the opening speaker for this wonderful meetup group for the Product Tank Heidelberg. This really came to a surprise to me when Eva wrote me and said, we have this event and do you want to be the opening speaker? I said, you probably have the wrong Daniel, because I'm not really even a product manager. So I'm a data scientist, I'm a computer scientist. I got my PhD, and I've been working for SAP for a while here in the AI team, leading a group of data scientists, developers, leading a unit. Also great that we have a keynote speaker here with Timo from SAP, so looking forward to that. But I've never really worked as a product manager in my job title. And then Eva explained, look, I mean, this is really a community which is much broader than just product managers per se, but everyone who kind of makes it happen, right? So it takes a village usually to build a good product. And over the last years in our unit, building up an AI team at SAP, bringing AI capabilities into our enterprise software portfolio, we can definitely say this is true from our experience, where we have seen it really takes everyone from a product manager to understand the customer need, to data scientists to assess the feasibility, to developers to really integrate that into the application, to the POs who steer all these demands into a stable roadmap to really bring this kind of also very new technology also for SAP into our product portfolio. And this has definitely been exciting. So my learnings, my message, more what I can share here, I think it's really that if you have this kind of cutting edge technology and want to bring it into your product, and if you're passionate about making this happen, then you can definitely benefit from this exchange, so that everyone can align behind the things that create the most value for your customers. So even if product manager might not be your job title. So, and I think if we look at this region of Heidelberg and the Rhine-Neckar area around here, there's a lot of great products being built here. We have BASF as the world's largest chemical company. We have SAP as the world's largest enterprise software company. We have other global players like Springer Nature. We have Heidelberg printing machines. We have a pretty strong, structurally strong, we would say in Germany, ecosystem with a lot of companies from engineering, from automotive, from life sciences. We have Germany's oldest and one of the best universities here in Heidelberg. We have the best business school in Germany in Mannheim, just 20 kilometers from here. So I think this is a great place to probably build products and to then also exchange these learnings and connect with other professionals in the area, also, of course, in this wonderful remote setting across the world. So I think the product in Heidelberg, what I understand is really that this wants to be a platform and has the ambition to allow this exchange and this sharing of information and knowledge in this community and build up such a community, which is wonderful. So without further ado, I'm very happy to hereby declare the Product Tank Heidelberg officially open. So congratulations. And of course, all the congratulations, of course, to the great people who have put in the effort and make this happen. And so I just want to hand over to the wonderful local organizers who will be speaking now, to Evelina and to Shwanand.
Thank you, Daniel.
Hi.
Yeah, thanks a lot for this introduction and for finally declaring the community open. I think Shwanand and me actually waited for quite some time to really make this happen. So we are quite excited and happy to finally be at this point of time. I'm really happy to see you all joining us for this event and for the World Product Day celebration. So again, welcome from my side to everyone. A little bit about myself. I have a bit of over 10 years of experience in project and product management. I've worked with distributed teams from basically all around the globe. And my product manager experience started in the online payments industry. And then in 2016, I decided to move to Germany and join Springer Nature. It's not unusual that you see so many Springer Nature people here. I'm really happy to see the support from our colleagues on that. Thanks everyone. I just want to share also one more thing. At least from my perspective, what really excites me about product management is this ability to actually make a difference and to really change the customer's pain points. So I'm very excited to interact with you in the future and to exchange knowledge and experience. Thank you for joining.
Hi, I'm Swanan Marulkar. Thanks a lot, Eva, for that good emotional introduction, I would say, for Heidelberg and putting out our emotions or sharing emotions with everyone. And about myself, I have around 15 years experience in products in diverse industries and roles I've played. I'm working with Springer Nature for last 7 years, and I'm really looking forward for next weeks and months for establishing a very vibrant product community here in Heidelberg. So thanks everyone again for joining, and I hand it over to Satya again.
Yeah. Thank you, Daniel, Eva, and Swanan. We all look forward to many more Product Tank events from you guys and more community building. So I know all of us are waiting for the keynote now. So without no further overdue, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Timo Wagenblatt. So Timo is a Vice President of Product Management at SAP in Walldorf, Germany. So Timo is in product management for more than 15 years. And I think this term of product manager was not existent, or maybe like hardly heard of when Timo started with his product management career. And during the course of his product management career, he built several products. He have built several frameworks and structure that has helped him to have and launch several successful products. And he has also developed his own methods. And all of us have read or heard about his famous book, Software Product Management, which has, again, all the frameworks, structures, and a lot more about building high potential products. And with this, I would like to hand over to Timo. But again, just a quick housekeeping point. We request that we be on mute. In case you have questions, please put them in the chat box. We will pick them up either during the session or after the session of Timo. So Timo, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Satya. And congratulations for starting the Product Tank Heidelberg. So I'm going to talk about how to reach peak performance for your product, but also for yourself, being a product person. Could you just tell me which slide you see? Do you see the presentation mode, or do you see the presenter mode?
It is the presenter mode.
And now better?
Yes.
Should work. Okay, perfect. Thanks for the hint. So yes, as said, I'm talking about how to reach peak performance, which is obviously a strong word. Therefore, without further ado, Satya already introduced me a bit. And basically, it's about context, because we are product people, so we all require context. I've actually worked, as you can see, as a product manager, as a team coach, as a product management trainer, as a manager of product managers, and also recently as a startup founder in companies of various sizes, from 1 person to 100,000 people. And in this journey, over actually 20 years already, I've seen product done really well, but I've also seen it done poorly, not reaching the full potential of these products. And today I would like to tell you a little story, a story about Michael. Michael is a product manager at heart, who spent months and years with his teams finding, help building, and trying to grow products. But the teams struggled with a sense that they were not as impactful as they could be. As product people, they did everything for their product, including fighting fires and being jack of all trades. And there are 100,000 of product people out there, product teams and product leaders in this position. And you might be actually one of them. In the next 15 minutes, I will explain why products fail. I will introduce a new way you could approach this common problem of failure, and to not exploit the full potential of your products. And I will further discuss a solution to support you reaching peak performance for your product, your organization, and finally yourself. Let's start with this beautiful, but also scary picture. Many product people, I think, can relate their work, their job, with the emotions that this picture might transport. we actually live in a perfect storm. What you see here in this picture is a perfect storm. So everything that the perfect storm requires, you see in this picture. And we live actually in this perfect storm of imbalance. So there is this storm, it's scary, but there's also lots of opportunities. There's software, there's data products, there's internal products, there's lots of ideas and problems to be solved, and there's ever advancing technology. In addition, there's also hyper competition. So software products are nowadays everywhere. It's not about software companies alone. Every company needs to be a software company. That's a famous quote out there. And the issue is that software talent is scarce. There's not enough software talent out there. And organizational maturity is pretty low. So why do I say that? Why is organizational maturity low and software talent is scarce? Product as its own discipline is pretty young. As Satya said, 20 years ago, I started as a product manager and I didn't know this is product management. This term wasn't even coined. At least I didn't know about it. And products fail. So the organization maturity is pretty low because products fail. We all know this soap bubble. And as product people, we have seen many of these bubbles actually bursting. We have seen ideas that did not work. We have seen products that were not as much appreciated as they would deserve. Marty Kagan wrote about product failure in his blogs and the reasons of product failure. He also mentioned the inconvenient truth about product. And the first truth is that at least half of our ideas are just not going to work. And the second inconvenient truth is that even the ideas that prove to have potential after we have done the discovery and the validation, it typically takes quite some iterations to make the product right. And it also requires that our products solve at least a problem for our customers and provide value to our customers. And even then, the products might not be successful. So the time to money regularly requires that the management teams are patient and the product teams are persistent, which also sometimes contradicts to this perfect storm we're all living in. Adding some data to it, 65%, that's the best case assumption based on the research from PDMA, 65% of software products specifically fail. And I really focus on not ideas failing today. It's about software products that have been launched. So failing product here means not staying in the market after launch, after 6 months, maybe 12 months, maybe 18 months. This product disappeared. Clayton Christensen, he mentioned 2019 in one of his blogs that actually 65 is really a best case assumption. Likely it's 95%. So it's hard number. So obviously product talent seems to be scarce and organizational maturity seems to be low. Otherwise, we would be in a much better situation. Let's dig into that. Why are some products successful and most are not? Traditionally, most product teams follow the standard way, hoping for the big yield. So someone has an idea. Someone has an idea how we can solve a problem. In this case, in our story, Michael talked to many customers and he distilled the product idea. And then the fun part starts. We start designing. We talked about mock-ups in the pre-session. We start designing our product. How should it look like? How should it behave? We build the product and our little plan, our little product tree comes to life. We launch the product even and the big success will happen, right? We can celebrate success with the first few paying customers. We might even add some more features and we hope for this really big yield that our tree might bring us. But wait a minute, obviously build it, launch it, and success is guaranteed is not the right equation. Otherwise, why would 95% of products fail? We all have experienced this. We all have stories to tell. And we all want to be impactful, that our products have the impact that they deserve. And with that impact of our products, it will also have an impact on our CV, on our career, on our team, and hopefully also on our organization. So let's have a look. And now we switch a bit gears. We're not looking at a software product or data product. Let's look at a simple plant, which is what my metaphor from before about the product. What does a plant actually need to reach peak performance, which means the highest yield? So it needs all these ingredients: water availability, disease resistance, nutrition, and so on. And it needs to have the right mix. And for the maximum yield of this plant, it's not enough to just water it. In this picture, you see there's actually already plenty of water available. There's other factors that limit a maximum yield of this product. So you have to understand what's the right mix to have the maximum yield for my product in your context. That's very important in agriculture. You have to monitor all dimensions and focus on the most limiting factors. And you have to work on the limiting factors. Adding more water, not required in this context, because water availability is fine. How about mineral nutrition? And yes, I'm not talking about plants, and I'm not a gardener or farmer, at least not in my main time. However, in software products, it's very much the same. The question that we have to think about is, do we actually optimize for the potential yield of our products, for the maximum yield? Can we consider, do we consider the most limiting factor of further success of our product? Do we even understand it? Do we have this transparency? And yes, we are not talking about water and mineral nutrition. We are talking about, is our product viable? Do we have the right development approach? Do we have the right go-to-market, software demonstrations, training? Do we understand our markets and the needs of our existing customers? And does our organization, is our organization mature enough to keep up with the growth, with the success of our product? So looking at the picture, even if we focus relentlessly to find the right problem to be solved, and we do all the product discovery work to reduce the risk, if we even find product market fit, there might be still some aspects that we are missing out. We have to look at all of this in parallel. Let's take an example. There was some time ago big notion in our community about blitzscaling. Everyone wants to grow hyper fast. And that's still a very valid tactic for some products, not for all. The idea is, think about, you're successful with your blitzscaling. You can actually have lots of new users and customers. Does the rest of the organization actually keep up with that speed? Does your support keep up with that speed? If your product requires consulting work, does your professional service and partner ecosystem keep up with that? Or are you burning your product? So it needs to be in balance. All these ingredients need to be looked at and need to be in balance. So my example, looking at all of this, is the key part to understand. The teams that do not find this right balance of ingredients in software products will have the same outcome as being a farmer looking at your plant. You will not reach the maximum yield. Your product might have a much bigger potential, but you cannot reach it because you miss out on something. So you have to manage your product in a holistic way. Holistic in terms of looking at all these dimensions and understanding all of these dimensions. So going back to the question, why are some products successful, most are not? One key thing is, it's about incomplete approaches.
if you focus on, I have an idea, I build it, I launch it, this will not be super successful. And so my actor in my little story, Michael, he understood that products are actually the full experience. It's not just the code or the service we deliver or the software. Actually, it's the full experience. And therefore, this full experience with software products or with products overall require holistic approaches. It's not enough to just focus on the product development dimension. It's important that all dimensions, the full experience of the product, are managed. And because Michael wants to reach peak performance, he asks to try out a new approach. And he got a buy-in from his team to test this new approach out, this new framework. And actually the team understood that it's not the issue with not having more success with the product is not about building new features. Actually, the issue might be in somewhere else, like in go-to-market or in product marketing or in software demonstrations. So that's great. Now we know these are all the ingredients that we need for peak performance, right? So let's see. Let's look at these guys. This is my highly motivated and cross-functional product team. And it's really great to watch them focusing on the one thing that matters. So they have fun, they play football, and everyone knows what's the factor to focus on. Obviously, that's not how our world is, unfortunately. I hope you still have fun, but it's not one thing we focus on. In the product world, as product people, we know that product is noisy. There is many things to look at in parallel. This customer, this meeting, Scrum meeting with the engineering team, pre-sales analysts, whatever. There's many, many things. And there's always one more thing that jumps in. And yes, you're right. There is even more things that we have to consider. So most people say, I don't have enough time to do what I need to do. That's what I commonly hear from my teams or from peers when I talk about product. So how can we manage this situation towards success? What do we need to do as a team, as an organization, or as an individual? And where should we focus? Which ball should we take? Which ones should we focus on? Just one, 5, all of them? So we cannot handle everything at the same time. So that, which leads mostly to these questions like, I don't know, I pick what I like to pick, I pick what's closest to what I think I'm skilled at, I pick what I'm forced to do, but it's not strategic. That's what frequently happens. And this is what happened to me. When I started my career, I listed my duties. I have to think about this, and that. And over time, the list was just not manageable. So I tried to structure it. I structured it in these 6 dimensions. And I learned that it's not just about, it's also where I started, working very closely with the engineering team. And that's great, and that is fun. And still, it will not guarantee success. So we have to look at the whole space, everything that matters, all the success factors for the product. And the story is, yes, sure, you might have guessed it, I'm Michael. This is the reason I invented Piper. I've been the one struggling with finding the right balance. So many things to do. And sometimes if you're young, you try to do anything on your own. I can do that. And the product manager, or I'm the one who's responsible for product management work. So I woke up at night with this painful feeling that my product has so much more potential, but the current success doesn't reflect that. So why is that? Is it us? Is it the customers? What is it? And holistically looking at all these product success factors actually changed my game. So what does Piper and what does holistic software product management mean? So first of all, we take product into the middle of everything. product is not just with the product development team, with the product management team. Product is with everyone in an organization, because product is the whole experience, and everyone contributes a certain piece to the success of the product. And if you do an assessment of your product tree along these 6 dimensions, and not just like, is our product viable? Actually, there's more details on it. And I thought about that, and I collected all of this, and I tried to find what are the success factors? Not the work we do and the certain actions, but what's the outcomes that are required? And I structured that into the radar over time. I gave even some weights to it, which you don't see here. And if you assess your product, you actually start to understand where your product is great and where your product needs support. And then it doesn't matter, ultimately it doesn't matter who should work on this success factor, because if no one works on this success factor, all the other work where I may be responsible for will only have a very limiting impact. I might add with my work water to the plant, but the plant already has enough water. So what is missing? What does the product need? And to get to this transparency, which on what are the ingredients, what are the limiting factors, you need to have a radar. You need to get this on a radar. And this is what you see. This is a Piper radar. It basically takes, after an assessment of all the success factors, a view on how is my product doing. And this is still not granular enough. Actually, it needs to be on a level that helps you to identify which success factor is currently limiting the success of my product. So with the approach, you do a holistic assessment of your product. You score your product from 0 being really bad to 10 being perfect. And this actually is a real life example of one of our products, of a customer's product actually. And you see, going back here, that despite blues, the product viability seems to be the strongest dimension of this product. In detail, there is something like pipeline development in this case that might need to be investigated further. Or despite software demonstration and training is pretty low in the lowest dimension score overall, actually not everything is really bad. And this radar, this transparency, helps you to drive focus. You actually can now decide what is most important for our product right now. And it also drives alignment, because you can make sure that everyone understands what's my contribution to the success of this product. Do I need to focus now on doing something with the roadmap, or working on the product vision, or looking into the backlog, or doing some more discovery work? Or is this currently at this one point in time okay? And I rather help my peers on a demo build, on a webinar, on whatever the software product requires. Having all product success factors holistically on your radar is essentially important. And knowing your product's limiting factors to reach your peak performance means actually you can manage them. If you don't know your limiting factors, this basically means you're relying on luck. Luck that you actually, by coincidence, work on the right things, which is okay, and luck happens. That's the good news. Just would you rely your product success and even maybe your career on luck? That's the question. So that's what I call Piper, the product yield potential radar, which you have seen here. And with that, it's about expanding the role of a product manager. We all know product managers, or product people, we help with all the right things, with all our hard skills of product vision, looking at customer feedback, backlog prioritization, sometimes even business cases and budgeting and pricing, road mapping, release management, and all the likes. You know, there's likely more of this both that we have to focus on. And that's what we have to do. That's the product management profession. But there is more. As Daniel said, it needs a team to build great products. And our role as product managers actually is that we provide our holistic insights, that we understand all the success factors that this product requires, and help the team with this holistic insight. So they actually, and this holistic insights, this is our ticket to be the product leader that we want to be seen. We can help the team to guide where should we invest our time as a team. And the team is not just engineering and product management, it's everyone who contributes to the success of the product, of the whole experience. There's nothing worse than you get a great demo of a software product. There's nothing to do with the messaging on your website, or vice versa. This mismatch is not nice. So it's the whole experience. And with that, with the team, and with your hard product management skills, and being the leader your product deserves, you can actually drive focus and alignment, and then reach your peak performance as a product manager, as a product person, and for your product. And with that, you actually can see how Piper can help you to really be the general manager, pushing the product limits. That's what we try to be, right? Product managers want to have impact with the products and the problems they solve. And being a general manager doesn't mean you hire and fire people, but it means you are managing your product holistically. You're looking and guiding, you're looking after the limiting factors and guiding the team. And you shift away from siloed objectives. I have to do this because I'm a pre-sales person, I have to do software demonstrations. That's okay, but but you have to see this as part of a bigger puzzle. And because you can do that, you bring this new weapon of holistic insights. Everyone in the team understands and can connect the day-to-day work to the product, which helps obviously with moral and with making product decisions, because you understand the bigger picture. And for the product leaders, for the chief product officers and head of products out there, you have a framework, because product management is pretty new. And if you ask 5 people, even at SAP, what's product management, you get 6 different answers, right? But now you have a framework where you can put in what is the success factors that we think are important for our product. I've thought about some templates, and I'm sure you can, but you can change them. You can use it as a starting point. But the thing is, you create one language. You create one language. What does it mean? What does product vision mean? And how good are we? Do we need to work on this? Does everyone understand where we want to be with our product now, tomorrow, and in the future? And with that, you increase the chances of success of your product, and you're on the way to become an outstanding product organization. An outstanding product organization, which is a place where products and people can flourish. What I would like you to take away today is balance your product work by understanding all product limits. Not just the limits on the software itself, performance, usability, whatever, but all product limits, which comes with pricing, with enablement, with partners, with ecosystem. All of that might balance or might restrict, not balance, restrict and constrain product success. This is why product success is hard. It requires balance. Every little piece can be important, as many factors can limit success. You need transparency and the radar, because these things change. These things change tomorrow. New competitor comes in, advanced technology, you need to know it, you need to react on it. Second, product success requires focused alignment. There's so many things to be done so that products are successful, not just launching it, but are successful and have sustainable growth. And it requires you, it requires someone as a general manager who cares about the whole product and helps to push the product limits. So be the leader that your team and your product deserves. That's my call to action. lead, mentor, supervise your product team, maybe in the organization holistically. Be the product leader that your product deserves, and be the product leader that your product requires. Whether they're called product owner, manager, whatever, doesn't matter. But your product needs support. And with that, thank you very much. I started with a soap bubble. I have here another one. If you manage it holistically, this will be the monster soap bubble you can get to. Way more resilient. Just kidding, obviously. But if you care about monster soap bubbles, look at this website. I found it. So guy called Wayne brought it up. Nice picture. If you care about more about holistic product management in Piper, I have some resources here. If you want to register for masterclass, use the QR code. But as I said, thank you very much for your time, and I hope I could inspire you and give you some hints about how to reach peak performance for your product and also for yourself, because no product manager will be successful if the product is not. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Timo, for such an insightful talk. We have several questions, and without wasting any time. So first question, although these aspects are so much important for the product to be successful, product managers may not have control over many of them. For example, if pipeline development is an issue, it may not be under control. How do we control it as product managers?
Very good question, and very true for most of the success factors. We are not in control. The first thing is make it transparent. And as a product manager, you need to understand, for example, what's the issue? Is it that the sales team does not know that there's a product to be sold? Or is it that the product does not resonate with the market? You have not found product market fit. So even if you're not in control, if you're not selling on your own, you at least understanding that a product pipeline, for example, is an early warning system that over time you will get an issue if you don't work on product pipeline. So, and the second part is, if you, which I used, for example, with SAP salespeople, I just made it transparent that if you don't sell the product, it might get disinvested and there will be no product for you to be sold next year. So please help me. Very important in B2B product management. Know your sales force and be nice to them.
Thank you. Next question. How do you think we can draw boundaries for product manager role? So I have seen anything and everything that fails is pointed to the product management team. As owner, product manager will own failure and success, but at the same time, it is important to articulate it to the team as well. As they know, they also they also own their part and cannot point everything to product manager. What's your take on this?
Very good point. And yes, that's the case. So at the end, the product manager represents the product, at least in product companies. And that again is why I came up with this Piper approach. It's important that everyone understands it's not just me doing everything. We are the organization, and everyone needs to contribute. Otherwise, the product will not be successful. This is also why I think it's important that we do not just work on tickets and on this feature, that feature. That's not product management. That's one piece of it, but not holistic product management. We will always own failure. That's our job. And we will always share success with the team. That's again our job.
Yeah.
Pointing out and show this transparency. Have it just transparent. Again, when we do this, not just internally, I also work with clients outside SAP who use Piper. Just even have this transparency. First story, and I showed this first many years ago at SAP. So some people in my engineering team said, I didn't know that you also think about these other topics. I just thought you look at the backlog. And it's very true, because engineering normally sees our work on vision and backlog. However, product requires more. And getting it on a radar, showing where you might even in the organization, in the team, have white spots. If no one looks after this success factor, that's a risk. We have to tackle it. Whether I tackle it as a product manager or someone from the team tackles it, that's what I call product mindset. Let's focus holistically as a team on the success of the product. And then these lines of I'm the PM, you are engineering, you are QM, you are designer, they blur, because what matters is the sustainable success of the product. That's why I wouldn't define a product manager role by you have to do A, B, and C. Traditionally, there is certain things we are responsible for, like product vision, prioritization, and so on. But it doesn't mean we have to do everything, and we shouldn't.
I think very interesting points and actionable points, actually. So the next question, or rather a comment, so from Pratik. Thanks for the great talk, Timo. He has a question. I have a question on the influencing role of product managers. Product managers and engineers can often have disagreements on roadmaps and what to build, as there are there any best practice suggestions on the best part to take to agree on a roadmap that works best for the customer?
I'm not sure about best practice, but some proven practice. So first of all, don't be a dictator. Listen to your engineers. What's the disagreement? Is the disagreement in the approach, the technical approach? Maybe you should trust your engineers there. Is it on the problem that you want to solve? I think engineers should trust you as a product manager and align on the roles you play. Again, normally how I would see it, if you have product management in your organization, product management at the end is accountable. This also means at the end you have to decide. The question is, how do you decide and how do you communicate? So ask for risk, ask for alternatives, and work with your engineers. Work maybe even whoever is in disagreement. Talk. No, listen first. Try to understand the root cause of the disagreement. And sometimes it might be just a personal thing, and then you might need to say, "This is the way we go," because you are the product manager.
Thank you. I will take one last question, Timo. So, hi, Timo. Thanks for doing this. This is Sid. It's my first session as at Product Tank Pune, and it seems like an amazing team. So his question is, how does one align the product vision with the product with the platform vision? I think he wants if they're product and platform, how do you align vision? Can you recommend anything to read on this piece? Like any blogs?
On the blog, I have to think about. I might post it later to maybe to the LinkedIn group. On the platform versus product, the question for me is, again, how broad do you define product? Yeah. Why wouldn't platform be a product? And actually, a friend of mine did even a PhD on platform software product management, and we discussed that over the last years. And we came to the conclusion a platform is also a product. And there is platform products that have internal users. So being platform for products, and these are your customers. You have to understand very similar things as if you have a B2C product, for example. Yeah. And many platforms have more even a hybrid approach. They are a product on their own, platform for others, but they're also platform for internal products. And you have actually to have, these are even two products, two target markets that you have to look at. I will add something via the channels on interesting read. I have not it handy currently, but there is good thoughts out there about platform product management.
Yes. There's one more question. I think we are pressed to take one more question about the framework. So Puneet says, very insightful framework. How can we measure parameters like product roadmap, etc., to analyze what is missing in the overall product? Have you found measurement of these parameters easy or difficult to start with?
It's hard, and it might be different depending on your context. But what I came up with, I basically defined for all success factors, what are attributes of, in this example, of a good roadmap, a medium roadmap, or a really bad roadmap. if for example, give you an example, if there is most teams have a roadmap. Sometimes the roadmap looks like a project plan, very detailed backlog items, stuff that doesn't show any outcome, just the thing you might work on. This means you have a roadmap, but this will not give you a score of a 10.
Yeah.
Or different thing is, most teams I talk to, they have a product vision. But if I ask them, please write it down, I might get various flavors of this vision, because frequently it's not even written down. Again, this isn't a 10. And if this vision is not aspiring, if and so on, you might even go lower and lower, despite you have a vision in your head.
Yeah, I think.
So what I did for all the success factors, I basically had a measurement. But again, I'm not saying I know everything. I just had a measurement written down for all of these success factors as a starting point. You can tailor it with your own learnings over time, but at least for all of them, you have a starting point.
So like, then how does the DevOps affect product management practice and the future of the role and practice?
Yeah. We will find out. I don't think actually in how I look at product management, there is a huge difference. I'm saying that because in my current team, I have like various products in my areas of responsibility, and some of them do DevOps. Some of my product managers are in a DevOps environment, and others are not. And from what I see on the work they do with customers, on the product vision, roadmap, product planning, product execution, product review, it's not a lot of difference. However, obviously, it's even better in the product world if you're in DevOps, if you have data, if you know how your customers are using the product, and if you have a continuous delivery and you can actually ship every minute. That's actually, it's all advantages, but still the core trait of product management is super important, maybe even more important than before, because you can make faster mistakes.
So let's say if you have to give 3 more actionable or more points that we can think of. So Timo, what would be the 3 core points that product managers have to always think about? You know, like what are 3 points? May not be and any like 3 points that you think is very, very important.
Again, don't get too much hung up on your title. So product management is about your product. It's about the product that you represent, and you will not be in control of everything in your product. But you are the leader that your product requires that everyone, the whole ecosystem, even the customers, know to whom to talk. Second, obviously, is just a repetition. Think about your product holistically. Get out of your box and get out of your door and talk to customers, try to understand the problem you want to solve, and try about the whole experience of your product, from finding the problem you want to solve to showing it, providing the value to your customers. And last but not least, think about the fundamentals. What is your product? Product is not the code. Product is the value you provide to your customers and to the market. And you might have, with one line of code, multiple products because there's many value propositions for different market segments. That's the 3 things I think matter really a lot.
I think this is very insightful and also very informative, because most of these points we can actually incorporate in our daily practices, in our daily work as well. We have quite more questions, but we are running out of time, Timo. So maybe I hand over to Eva for her quick few words. So Eva.
Yes, thank you, Satya, and thank you, Timo, for the wonderful presentation. We were planning to do some interaction sessions at the end, but since we are running out of time, we won't do that. I just wanted to announce a few things from Product Tank Heidelberg perspective. We have shared some links in the group channel, as well as a link to a feedback survey, which would be of really help to us if you could fill it in and provide us feedback so that we know how to organize the upcoming events. So we're going to share this information also on LinkedIn later on. There is also one other thing, because Timo was so great. It was great from him to offer us one book for our participants. So we will use the names of the people who registered for the event and draw the winner afterwards and announce it. It will be personally, of course, so we are not going to announce that so publicly, but whoever is the lucky winner, stay tuned, you will receive a message from us. Thank you, Timo, for offering this gift to our participants.
Thank you, Timo. So
Thank you all.
Yeah. Do you have any closing words, Timo? So before I hand it over to Rupal for the announcement. Yeah.
So my closing words would be, so this is about the community, and it just started, and it's important that we share our successes and also our failures in this community. So please help to advance the product craft and join the product tanks all over the world, because it's super important that we help each other.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Timo.
Thank
So over to you, Rupal.
Thanks, Adya. Wow, that was an amazing session. Thank you, Timo. It was really insightful, and I guess the scenarios that you talked about are something that we really face day to day in our lives, right? So thank you for that session. It was really insightful. I am Rupal Maheshwari, product manager at MindBody. I'm working as a contributor with Product Tank Pune for close to 2 years now. And without any further delay, I would like to break the news, which is this. So we are collaborating with the Great Managers Institute. So the reason of this collaboration and what is Great Managers Institute, we will definitely be talking about that and why this collaboration and why we are, taking this platform to bring this to you guys. In this fast-pacing technology world, we realized that chances and odds of growth and success as a leader gets multiplied with a structured combination of product and people skills, right? We strongly believe that every leader should be well versed with a product thinking and product-led growth approach, while at the same time, they should also be cognizant about the people management skills, which is required to build lasting relationships for delivering delightful experiences, not just to our customers, but also to our internal stakeholders. And that is the core reason as to, why are we collaborating with the Great Managers Institute. With that, I would now like to invite Shivangi from Great Managers Institute to tell us more about them. Welcome, Shivangi. Shivangi, you there on the call?
Maybe not. So maybe it's just that we then.
All right. No worries. So, so what is Great Managers Institute? They aim to enable individuals to become great people managers. Like I said, you also need, as a product manager, you also need, people skill, like which would ensure that you deliver good products and fast deliver those. So they enable individuals to become great people managers who deliver sustained results by building trusting relationships. And what does this collaboration mean for us? So they will provide the community of PMs with a 360 evaluation as a people manager. the product managers will have access to amazing online courses. They also have some guided actions on managing cross-functional teams, which is a must for product managers, because we are working with one team, but we're also collaborating with the other teams. And then also they will also be providing us with a certification if we enroll for one of their courses, as a great product manager to work with. So this is what this collaboration stands for. And then this is a video which will take us through what is the process the GMI follows in order for us to enroll for their programs and get the benefit. So let's watch this video for a minute.
I'm Tara. I'm the AI arm of the Great Manager Certification app. Let me take you through our platform. The first step is to register on our app. Take an online self-assessment survey to display your managerial capabilities in different situations. Give us some more context about you, your company, industry, and other relevant details. Launch your survey. Allow our system to take feedback about you from your team. Explore your profile. Go through demographic benchmarks to interpret the meaning of your scores. Go through recommended action ideas. They are personalized and contextualized for you. Select some recommended action ideas and create 3 to 4 action plans. Doing these for the recommended time period will help evolve your style. While thinking of action plans, do go through some of our learning resources. This will help you introspect and reflect while providing you with tools and research along with tests. Use them to improve your skills. Continue your journey with regular implementation of action plans with updates and viewing of bite-sized learning resources. Depending on your progress and real-time inputs from your team members, we recommend new content and improvements in your plans through intelligent triggers. Dr. Marshall Goldsmith, the world's #1 executive coach, can also chat with you through his artificially intelligent bot version. We have a prestigious mentor community mapped to you as per your needs that can support you. Get a reassessment done. Now you have a chance to be globally certified after automated assessments and intelligent audits. If you are certified, you may have a shot at recognition in top media bodies globally if your organization allows so. Remain engaged through a list of best practices under Manager Mantras. Once certified, you may gain access to our special community called Great Managers League. Your lifetime digital coach and profiler remains by your side as long as you are subscribed with us, guiding you on your way to achieve and sustain greatness.
So these are some top great people, managers in 2020 that got published in Forbes from the GMI platform. With that, it's a wrap from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Rupal. And yeah, with this, we officially close the event. We'll stay back if you're interested to interact some more, like maybe for 10 more minutes. Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining today's event. It's been wonderful. And we thank all our social media team who has been working, every day we have announcement on social media, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. And thank you, Harneet. Thank you, Padmanabh, Rupal, Pradnya, for doing all the hard work. So yeah, thank you. So I close the recording now, and